All right, so if you've been keeping tabs on the world of AI, you know a couple of huge names have been running the show. But what if I told you a new player just stepped into the arena? And they're not just here to play, they're here to completely change the game. Let's dig in. For months, it's really felt like a two-horse race, but someone just crashed the party in a big way. And believe me, they are not just trying to catch up, they're basically rewriting the rulebook. So, in one corner, you've got the US heavyweights, right? OpenAI and Anthropic. And in the other, this European upstart, Mistral. This is shaping up to be more than just a tech rivalry. It's a classic David versus Goliath, and the challenger is packing some serious firepower. I mean, until now, whenever you were talking about the absolute best AI models, you were talking about OpenAI's GPT-4o or Anthropic's Claude 3.7. Simple as that. They've been the undisputed champs, the ones everyone else was trying to beat. Well, that's all changing with Mistral's new model called Medium 3. And look, this isn't just another small update. This is a massive leap forward, and it's coming from a team that, for many, seemed to come out of nowhere. Medium is the new large. I love that. That's the tagline Mistral is using, and it's their clever way of saying, hey, don't let the name fool you. Internally, they call this a frontier class model, and as you're about to see, that's a title they have absolutely earned. So, you have to be asking, how can a model literally called Medium go toe-to-toe with the Goliaths of the AI world? Well, the answer is pretty straightforward. It delivers an absolute knockout punch when it comes to performance and, maybe even more importantly, price. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty. This is the tale of the tape. Mistral isn't just trying to be a cheaper alternative. They're actually beating the competition where it really counts. Just take a look at these coding benchmarks. On Human Evolves and MMLU, we're talking the gold standards here. Medium 3 isn't just playing in the same league as GPT-4o and Claude Sonnet. In some cases, it's actually outperforming them. If you're a developer, you know this is a massive deal. And if the performance stats didn't get your attention, this definitely will. The price. To process 1 million input tokens, Claude Sonnet is going to run you $3. Mistral Medium 3, 40 cents. That's not a price cut. That's a whole new reality. Just let that number sink in. 8 times cheaper for performance that's just as good, if not better. For any company that's been wincing at their AI bills every month, this isn't just interesting news. This is a potential lifeline. And it's not a one-trick pony either. It's not just about coding. Medium 3 is a powerhouse in other areas too. It shows incredible win rates on tasks in French, Spanish, and Arabic. And it really holds its own in complex reasoning with charts and documents, which is where a lot of these smaller models usually fall apart. It's a true all-rounder. And here's the real magic, the secret sauce. This incredibly powerful AI can run on just 4 GPUs. That's it. That means you don't need a gigantic, expensive server farm to get world-class results. You can actually run this on your own hardware, which gives you total control over your data. But look, an amazing model is only half the story. To really win over big businesses, you need a killer strategy. And this is where Mistral is playing chess, while others are playing checkers. So they have this brilliant 3-step approach. You can start by just testing things out with their API. Then, when you're ready, you can scale up in a private cloud. And finally, you can bring the whole thing completely in-house. It's all about giving businesses the power to choose what's right for them. And that flexibility is a total game changer, especially for industries like finance and healthcare. Because Mistral is a French company, they built their entire platform with strict European rules like GDPR and the EU AI Act baked right in. So things like audit logs and keeping data behind your own firewall, they aren't afterthoughts, they're core features. And this is the part that brings it all together for the customer. It's called Le Chat Enterprise, and it uses that awesome Medium 3 model to become a tool your team uses every single day. It can search across all your company's data, SharePoint, Google Drive, you name it, and you can even build little AI agents without writing a single line of code, all while getting that crazy low pricing. So Mistral clearly has the tech, they've got the strategy, and they've got the regulatory smarts. But the billion-dollar question is still out there. Can they actually turn all of this incredible potential into a market-dominating business? And if you want to know just how much people believe in them, just look at the money. It's staggering. In just over a year, they've raised about €1 billion, including the largest seed round in European history. The smartest investors are betting big on this team. all that investment has given them a massive $6 billion valuation. But you know what comes with that kind of money, right? Immense pressure. Now, Mistral has to prove that it's more than just hype. They need to turn all this excitement into a real, sustainable business. And the clock is ticking. And that really brings us to the ultimate question. In a field that is so dominated by giants with bottomless pockets and decades of business relationships, is having a better, cheaper model actually enough to win the AI war? For the first time, the big AI incumbents have a legitimate, fearsome challenger coming from across the Atlantic. Mistral has a real shot at the title, and you can bet the entire world is watching to see if they can land the final blow.